Oh, you can do it then. Go on then.
So, hello and welcome to episode number 2.
That's why, because for some reason you go Chinese. Why do you go Chinese?
Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of Through the Groove. It's that so shitty weather girl.
Hello, welcome to Through the Groove.
Through the Groove.
There's a southerly wind on the side of this face.
Okay, so in this episode, following on from our last episode, we spoke about how music was like the foundation of our relationship. And today we're going to be talking about Darryl's journey in music before our relationship and a bit during our relationship, but mainly before our relationship.
And then in the next episode, we're going to be doing your music journey.
Music journey,
Yeah.
yes. So Darryl,
fire away.
I'll have some pre-made questions here. And the first one is, what was your first musical encounter?
Spice Girls.
Really?
Genuinely.
Okay. Talk to me about the Spice Girls.
What do you mean first musical encounter?
Okay,
First...
I mean, this could be interpreted many
different ways, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a vague question, really. So your first encounter with music, was it through your parents? Like, your first one that you can remember, was it through parents, through school, through the radio, through your sister?
That was not through my sister.
Well, you said Spice Girls, so I didn't think that would be a conscious choice.
Hey, they were a big thing.
They were?
Massive influence.
Did you have the lunchbox?
No, but I
never had the lunchbox.
I collected the
stickers?
The ring pulls from special promotional cans of Pepsi Max. And sent them off to get a big poster of the Spice Girls.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Where is this poster?
Oh, it's gone. It's not available anymore. Imagine if I'd have kept that there. How much that would be worth.
Do you remember the bags of crisps that they did? And they were sour cream, and they came in little hexagons, and they were Walker's crisps, and they were in a yellow bag with the green stripe on the bottom, and they were sour cream. I said sour cream twice now. But on the hexagon, on different bags, was a different Spice Girl. So you'd either get Baby Spice on the front or Ginger Spice.
No, I don't remember.
Can you name the other 3 Spice Girls?
What? The actual names or like the nicknames?
Nicknames.
Scary Spice, Sporty Spice, Posh Spice.
Hey!
Don't question me.
So what are they?
But I don't know actually. 2 of them are called Mel.
B and C.
Victoria. The ginger one, Jerry Halliwell,
and
Emma Bunton. Yeah.
Yeah,
Emma Bunton.
Oh, I thought it was Bunting.
like bunting.
Or Bumpting.
No, it's Bunton. Bumting. No, yeah, I think, to be honest, very depressingly, that is my first real memory of any kind of music, is Spice Girls, and kind of like just jumping on the bandwagon with that.
Yeah, with
when
pop
it happened
music.
in the 90s. Yeah, pop music. I think that and Backstreet Boys was another one.
Yeah.
That was really like my earliest memories. Yeah, because it was pop music, and pop music was on the radio all the time.
Pop was very big when we were younger.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was like, that's when all that began.
Yeah, with Britney and...
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. They're my first like real conscious memories of music and being a fan of that. Not so much now. I can't say I'm a Backstreet Boy fan now, but when you're
when you're supping on a beer in the club and everybody, you don't get that urge.
No, everyone gets that urge.
Your body.
But I'm not gonna sit here and like put headphones in and go, you know what I really want to listen to today? I really want to listen to Backstreet's Back by Backstreet Boys. So that's not happening. No, that doesn't happen. Like, it's not. I haven't played that song on Spotify probably ever. So
what was your first actual decision where you thought, I'm going to buy myself a CD, or I'm going to listen to this, or... I remember getting your pocket money, getting yourself down to HMV or WH Smith's. I used to get mine from... No, Woolworths.
What's it called? There's a CD shop, a music shop in town.
That's entertainment.
No. It was like an independent one. It was owned by one guy.
Oh, wow. Cool. In Uttoxeter?
Yeah, in Uttoxeter, yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember.
That used to be a thing.
Yeah, there used to be an independent music store in Uttoxeter. The guy had loads of CDs. He sold instruments and stuff. That's where I went to get my first album. I think...
What was the first album?
The first album was DARRYL'S first album. Again, I think it's is very much influenced by.
Oh, you've told me this story before.
It's very much.
Please tell me this
Yeah, I
story
will.
again.
But I think choosing that first off is very much influenced by pop again, because at the time when I went to get it, Gorillaz, Clint Eastwood was huge, and that's why I wanted the album.
Yeah.
Because of that. That was the first one I went and bought with my own money. Went down with my dad, asked the guy for the Gorillaz album. He didn't know what it was. I said, it's the one with the Jeep on it, because I didn't know what it was called, because it was just Gorillaz. It was self-titled. I said, yeah, it's just the one with the Jeep on the front. Boy found it. He knew what I was on about. But yeah, that was it. That was Gorillaz. My first album that I bought, there was Clint Eastwood on there, and there was another one that they released, 2000, I think it's called. 19-2000, I don't know how you say it. They were the two big singles that I heard on the radio and was like, I want that. Kind of the similar kind of thing to Spice Girls.
Yeah.
But then getting that album and listening to all the other songs in between it, like Rehash and Tomorrow Comes Today, it's like these are all songs that I remember from.
When was the last time you listened to that album though?
Not that long ago actually, because Gorillaz released a new album not long ago.
2-3 weeks ago.
And then the one before that was fucking awful.
But it was a Damon album in between, wasn't there?
Yeah. But then I went back not long ago and listened to Demon Days, Plastic Beach. It was Gorillaz, that one, Demon Days, Plastic Beach, and then there was a big gap. They came back about 2 years ago, and then they released another one a few weeks back. But I don't know, man. Like the first two albums for me are the best ones.
Demon Days, I remember
Demon Days
getting to Demon Days.
Yeah, but
that's when I got into
listening to Gorillaz and buying Gorillaz and going down with Dad and spending my pocket money, then coming back and putting it into my silver and blue hi-fi and blasting that shit out and realising there was so much more depth to Gorillaz as artists than just those two songs. I love those two songs, but the ones in between were like, holy shit, like they're good.
It's interesting because when you're younger and you're listening to people like the Spice Girls and you're listening to these pop music, you are literally funneled into like a radio play, so you only ever learn the singles.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that was
to buy an album and listen to an album, pull the little book out, follow the lyrics and learn the lyrics, know every song in order. So I don't think many. Oh well, I know recently I probably stopped listening to an album in its entirety, or because of streaming I put it on, it shuffles play. Sometimes I couldn't even tell you what the song was. I was just like, that's that new song and I really like it. It's off that album, but I couldn't tell you where it comes. Whereas like I could put on a Foles record and I could a Maccabees record, either or, and I could go through it, and just as one song ends I could start singing the opening bars of the next one or start humming it, know exactly what's coming in next. And that's what you did when you were younger. You'd go out, buy an album, put it on, and you'd learn it. You want to know it inside out. You want to try and figure out what the lyrics mean. You know, it was a real like kind of art, and I think as kids like you're quite creative, so you want to know more and more. Like, and I think that gets lost a bit when you become adults.
I think it's lost in the current technology as well. But with that album, like Gorillaz album, that was the first time I really realised that. Because beforehand it was just like you said, it was just concentrating on the singles from Spice Girls, from Backstreet Boys, from like S Club 7. It was like
who listened to an album in full?
Who listened to an S Club 7 album? My mum got the S Club 7 album.
I didn't have
she
the
got the S Club 7 album.
I got the one with Reach for the Stars.
Yeah, that one. But I always skipped to the singles because I just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But the Gorillaz was the first one where I was like, yes, let's sit down and listen to this. And then I think that kind of triggered it all. Really, me being interested in music, me wanting to hear more of artists that I'd heard before, like more so my dad's music from then on, like Bob Marley. Like he'd play Bob Marley in the car all the time. So like, okay, like, can I borrow that CD you keep putting on in the car? Or,
can I rip it?
Yeah, and can I listen to it?
Get it on your Windows movie player, media player.
Yeah, and I think he had another album. He had a compilation album, like Heroes of Rock or something like that. And Thin Lizzy was on there. There was 2 Thin Lizzy tracks. And then I was like, okay, I'm obsessed with Thin Lizzy now. Can we find something with Thin Lizzy? And it just kind of spiraled like that. Yeah, that's just what happened. It was hearing singles, I think, and then trying to find more about like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
So when I really got into Red Hot Chili Peppers, was it Stadium Arcadium? I remember that being big. I remember. Was
it By the Way you got into them?
No.
See, I got into them on By the Way.
No, it's weird. I heard Danny California on the radio.
Oh my god, that's like when we were in high school that one came out.
Yeah,
like year 9 that came out.
Yeah, I heard that and got obsessed with Stadium Arcadium, that double album. I was like, okay, what's before that, yeah, and then you just and then I just kind of I got obsessed with discographies and going back and listening to things like that, yeah.
But did you find that your music taste changed when your hobbies changed, like 'cause you got into gaming? So obviously some soundtracks are on games.
Yeah, some soundtracks on games. Games really like opened up my.
Because gaming is your main foundation. Yeah. So your main, like my main makeup is probably like is definitely music, whereas like it's
more gaming for me.
Yeah, but music goes hand in hand because of the soundtracks that are on them. And film, you like film. You know, film and TV, music comes in. Like music comes into everything. This is what I mean. That's what I said in the last video. Like, try and find me someone who doesn't like music.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Because every interest has music in, like whether it's to create atmosphere or like, you know, you have happy music, sad music. It's a very transferable language.
Yeah.
International language.
I think gaming, you're right, yeah, gaming for me did open a lot of doors music wise. A lot of good soundtracks on games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Burnout 3. There's some fucking great songs on that. Like Burnout 3 had it had a lot of emo shit. It had
like Fall Out Boy.
I think it had Fall Out Boy. It had a lot of My Chemical Romance on there. It had Future Head, stuff like that. So and whenever the song came up in the game, it'd say now playing in the corner. And I was like, okay, quickly make note of that. Or go into the settings and like look at the playlist and like write down the songs.
FIFA's got good playlists as
FIFA as well, again, is another one. FIFA's always been a strong one. And that was the thing about games, really. A lot of them were quite eclectic. Like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, there's a lot of hip-hop in that, but there's also a lot of rock rap and kind of the... fucking hell, what is it? The sort of... like skate rock. Is it skate rock? You call it skate rock? I don't know, it's weird. I can't think of any...
Pop punk.
Kind of pop punky, really scrappy. So that opened up a lot of doors there for me, and I moved swiftly from kind of poppy stuff to more rock stuff. So obviously Spice Girls and shit got left to one side. I moved away from Gorillaz and got more into American style rock because of the games I was playing. I think the first time I heard Iron Maiden was on SSX3 Tricky, a snowboarding game. Run to the hills, something like that. And then I got into Iron Maiden that way. I think also the people you meet at school influence you a lot.
Yeah, like depending on who you hang out with.
Yeah, I used to hang around with the guys with long hair quite a lot. So
we're just stereotyping now.
But they obviously their music was a lot of heavy metal and rock and grunge. That was the word I was looking for. Grunge, skate rock. Fucking Christ. Yeah, grunge. Jesus. And that got me into...
This is what we mean. We're not music journalists.
No. And it got me into a lot of heavy metal bands, like Killswitch Engage, Atreyu. Him. Jesus Christ, Him. They were fucking shit.
Like Bullet for My Valentine.
A bit more emo.
Oh, Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged
Sevenfold, yeah. They were big.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that specifically being like a high school era.
Yeah, definitely.
It's weird. Like we've had this conversation before because I dipped into that quite heavily at school, and then I came out of it again. Like I went in. And it was all right. I didn't hate it. I did it but it's not my go-to. You know, I'm just going to stick a bit of Bullet on. Like, you know, I hear some Bullet songs and I really like them, but I came out the other side and I stick with my indie guitars.
I did that. I kind of dipped into that and came out the other side. Really, because I don't listen to that kind of stuff at all anymore. No. Whereas at one point in my life, it was like for a good 2 years. That was all I listened to. Was that kind of music. Yeah. But no, I came out of that.
Hawthorne Heights.
I came out of that. No, I didn't. I think that was a bit too emo for me.
Did you ever go for Hawthorne Heights?
No, a bit too emo. I like the more screamy stuff.
Screamy stuff.
Yeah. Well, did like. I don't think I can listen to it now.
Oh, like, oh my God, who else was there?
Trivium.
That was what I was thinking of.
Trivium. Yeah, they were a bit of a big one for me. But I kind of came out of the other side of that.
It's weird because I think, how are these people still around? But then I think, well, it's still a very big market. It's just that just because I'm not listening to it doesn't mean, you know, they drop off the edge of the world.
And I think another big genre in my life as well was hip hop. It's always been hip hop. That's always been like a
hip hop and rap.
Yeah, hip hop and rap. Yeah, I think. Probably because of Eminem,
you can't stand Eminem now, though.
When Eminem brought out his first album, it was when I was growing.
I remember
it was 99, I think that was, or 98. Yeah.
I remember that album, and I don't know why I remember it. Actually, I do. I associate that first album with RE.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Nothing like that first album is like so far from religious. It's
But I think it's because I remember having RE lessons still at school, and that one music video with the and they're all in like a school, but I think it's an army. Is it army? It's like an army.
And they all look like Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with the real Slim Shady.
Yeah.
Real Slim Shady.
Yeah. And I remember that video, and then for some reason I associate that with my RE class,
That's,
like the way it was set out.
That's the second album. Yeah, but them two songs are very similar. Those two albums are very good. The first two albums of Eminem's are great. And that's what kind of got me interested in hip hop. Also that and 50 Cent, and then
50 Cent.
50 Cent, man, like gangster rap. And it's like, and then the thing is though, with a lot of hip hop and rap is like, because they feature different artists, you get interested in those artists. So you kind of
because then
it's like you'll hear like Dr. Dre in Eminem's music. It's like, okay, who's Dr. Dre? And then you figure out who Dr. Dre is, and then it gets to Snoop Dogg, and then you just and then you move like down a path of all these different hip hop artists, and it's weird because I got really interested in that, dipped into heavy metal and rock, completely ignored it, came out the other side wanting to go straight back to hip hop and being obsessed with it. And,
I think you figure out what you like, and it's good that you can dip in and try other things, because creatively, like, you have to try something new to appreciate something old again. That's why sometimes I think you go full circle, like you'll go so far one way, like, and it's when like an artist gets their own inspirations, then you start listening to what influences them, and then you start liking them, and then you go back to them. Because it's like, well, this is the artist you originally liked, and then you start listening to what influenced them, and then what influenced them, and everything spirals out, and ultimately you can only go so far back before you start coming back forward again, because you go so far to like the original kind of, like, I suppose, like the classical stuff as well, like that influences in a certain way.
I think also with music kind of linking to everything, like you said, it links to games, film and stuff like that. I got massively into graffiti for some reason. I got obsessed with graffiti and learning about the history of graffiti, and that goes hand in hand with hip hop. And so all of a sudden hip hop took on another meaning for me. There was hip hop artists that were also graffiti artists talking about graffiti. So and then you start seeing how it all links up together.
Well, it's like even with
weird.
fashion, like people go on about the stereotypes of what you listen to, like if you're listening to more heavier stuff, on the stereotype, you're might be wearing a leather jacket, you might have long hair, you might look like this, but there was a movement. Like indie kids typically wear, well, they don't anymore, but it was like they looked a bit preppy. They had like skinny jeans, their shirts were like oversized, checked, like every group had an identity. And then it was funny because then these people didn't want to have these identities, and didn't want to be defined by what they listened to, but then they're like, how many times did we go to like a peace gig, and every kid going is wearing an XXXXXXXXL t-shirt.
And Doc Martens skinny jeans. It's like, fucking hell, dude.
You all look the same.
Can you not think for yourself?
It's like all these giant feeler trainers have just become, like, you know what I mean? Like, that people create an identity around something, and music is easy to create an identity around.
And I think that's probably why I was such a mess fashion-wise.
Let's not talk about what you used to wear.
Because it's like,
I can't get the rhinestone t-shirt out of my mind.
I had so many different influences from especially music, because it's like the big baggy jeans, hip hop, skate shoes, like kind of like grunge rock kind of thing.
Talk me through your t-shirts, because they were horrendous.
Mate, that Stussy t-shirt I had, Stussy t-shirt with a big skull on the back, and like Stussy and some sick graffiti hand style there.
I hated it. You look like
I look like a gangster.
No, you wish.
And I think because so many different things did influence me, I had like a bit of a weird, broken kind of identity of who I was.
Now you're just a poster boy for Pretty Green.
Yeah, basically, because it's easy, innit?
Paisley.
Because at the same time,
Paisley and skinny jeans.
Because the funny thing is, like, at the same time as me being obsessed with heavy metal, of me dipping in and out of hip hop, of me liking DARRYL'S, which is like some sort of alternative rock, there was also like the indie thing there. Like the indie thing was like with Razorlight, the Kooks, Orson, like Pigeon Detectives.
When is that album coming out?
So
again?
It's all just piled into this one mess of a human that I like
You were strolling around thinking you were
thinking I was
ghetto.
Yeah, like ghetto, but could play guitar and do skateboarding.
You could not play guitar.
No, exactly. But I had so many different styles and so many different.
Let's talk about your first gig. Let's just remember how ghetto this kid is, and how like he went through his emo phase and he was loving indie, but his first gig was
right. So I've got a sister,
and here come the excuses.
Yeah, so I'd never been to a gig before because I never, like I said in the previous video, I never knew it was that much of an option. It just seemed a bit of an effort. I never knew that there was any kind of scene for that outside of arenas or something like that.
I think it's very important we also remember now that Darryl doesn't socialise very well.
No.
He would have rather played on his PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. I had no like urge to go out, but then.
So he wouldn't actively seek out a gig?
No, I wouldn't. No, and I certainly wouldn't seek out N-dubs. That's my first fucking gig. But lo and behold, my sister was a fan. She wanted to go and see them, so
she was underage and needed someone over 15.
Someone over 15 to escort them to the gig. So that was my first ever gig. Was going to see N-dubs.
Did you get a Dappy hat?
No.
Did you fanboy over
No,
Dappy?
I didn't like them at all.
Did you?
I didn't even pay for the ticket. Mum bought the ticket because she wanted me to go and babysit Jodie and her friend.
Is it technically your first gig if you didn't pay for it?
I don't know.
Mind you,
well, yeah, it is because
my first gig, I didn't pay for my ticket either.
It's the first live performance, isn't it, that I've seen from an artist.
And
don't get me wrong, it was impressive to see the show they put on. Like, I couldn't believe they sold out an arena.
They sold it out?
Yeah, they sold it. It was packed.
Fuck
off. It was NEC. It was packed. But yeah, that was the first one. And it was piss boring. Not gonna lie.
Who supported?
I don't remember. Professor Green, actually. I've seen Professor Green. I've seen Professor Green. Didn't like him.
I've seen Professor Green. Did I see Professor Green?
I just don't like him.
No, I saw example.
Yeah, didn't like him. But
Green.
Outside of that, if you want to talk about an actual gig that I went to and wanted to go to, was with you, it was Jake Bug. You were like my first real gig.
First gig, first festival, what can I say?
Yeah, exactly. And that was good as well, because I actually knew the songs and liked the guy.
It wasn't shit.
It wasn't shit, no. But it wasn't one of those, like, there are certain other gigs that gave me, like holy shit, this guy.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Mulvey was like...
I knew you were going to say Nick Mulvey. I had it in my head. I was like, he's going to talk about
Nick Mulvey was the first gig I went to where I wasn't convinced on him that much. I was like, I like his songs, they sound good. And then you go and see him and you think, holy shit, it's a human being making that noise.
Yeah.
It's like he made that noise with his mouth. He makes those beautiful mouth noises that make me fizz. And I'm just like, wow.
I'm meant to be the only one who makes fizz.
It's just, wow, it's mind-blowing. There's only been a few other ones like that.
Yeah. With you, like, I'll drag you to these, I say drag, you come forcefully, it's fine. I'll go, we'll go and see Florence and the Machine. You're not overly keen. We go watch it and you're like, I get it.
Yeah, fantastic performer. Fucking incredible, Florence.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Get it, 100%. Like, she
floats. She's magical.
It's the same feeling I got with Nick Mulvey. I'm like, I'm not really convinced. I like some of your songs. And then
Bon Iver was the same for you.
Yeah, not as much, but still, like...
You're glad you saw it?
Like, wow. Yeah,
I mean,
like, some of the songs, like, wow.
You saw the Maccabees 6 times and you still...
Yeah, sorry, you can't get on board with the Maccabees.
Well, it's all right then. Not together anymore.
I tried. You can't blame me for trying. Some of the songs are a good laugh, but I can't get into it.
That makes me very sad.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, well, I have another point.
Things changed.
Oh yeah, your first CD was
I've already told you what my first CD is.
Oh,
so yeah, that's my music journey from Spice Girls to
right back up to Jake Bug
to Gorillaz to heavy metal to hip hop to generic.
Your awful dress sense.
My awful dress sense, that generic indie phase.
I mean, if we've got a picture, I think you should throw it in.
And then finally meeting you and.
Finally, we knew each other for at least 3 years before musical exchanges were given. We didn't really start speaking about music and speaking like on that kind of friendship level until
we weren't friends anymore.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's episode number 2. Yeah, my musical journey.
My journey's a lot more interesting.
Episode 3 is going to be your journey.
3 is my journey, and I like 3 because 3 is almost 6, and 6 is a good number for me.
And we'll get onto that weirdness in the next episode. Yeah, please follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. We'll put up all the links for that in the description. It'll be easier. I don't even.
The Twitter thing is still.
The Twitter thing is
us,
really bugging me.
But
yeah, I'll just put the links up for that. Please like, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with your friends. Let us know what you think we could do with some other different ideas revolving music, revolving a very generic music YouTube channel. Not because we're not going to be focusing on any kind of specific genre. It's just going to be talking about music. I want it to be.
Well,
we want it
episode
to be
6,
quite open.
You'll find out why we're doing this channel. And if you haven't already listened to our album of the month,
Shame.
Songs of Praise.
Yeah, listen to Shame, Songs of Praise, album of the month for the past.
On the Rizzler.
One Rizzler.
Whatever. Hashtag not a music journey.
And on that note, thanks for watching.